Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 19 of Direwolf20's Space Engineers series. I am just depositing a bunch of iron ore, probably most of it, into my base. I'm saying probably because I'm going to suspect that my ore backlog chest, well actually not too bad. Let's see what happened here. So we have a lot of ore in our refineries, but like holy cow, either that's producing ore very fast or something weird's up. So refinery, yeah, we got a good amount into each of our refineries. Iron, some went into the arc furnace, okay, so that's cool too. Refinery's got a bunch. And there's some in our assemblers, obviously, because they're always producing stuff, that makes sense. Large cargo container 6, that's probably where all of our ore backlog went. It's still in there. Okay. So ore backlog should have ore priority 10 working here. Okay. So you should have made your way into the ore backlog, and I'm not sure that you did. Reactors. They've still got power, so that's a good sign. So obviously, you know, we're refining a bunch of iron that we mined last episode. And, yeah, some cool stuff going on today, more than likely. We just had an update to the game. And as a matter of fact, I'm noticing a very weird bug as a result of that update. There's supposed to be an asteroid here, and it's not rendering. Oh, I'm flying into it. Alright, so today's update day, and pretty much the way the updates for Space Engineers go is every Thursday they release an update, and then every Friday they release like a major bug fix that solves some of the problems of that update. Yeah, there's been a couple weird things going on here. Where'd that conveyor tube come from? I could not tell you. But anyway, so you can see I built a long conveyor tube line out to here with a connector because this ship does not fit over here. Like, it just won't fit in this space. So that needed to happen. I'm going to relog here and see if the asteroid that's supposed to be here comes back. I'll be right back. Oh, hey, look, the asteroid's back. Woohoo! So now that you're back, why would you perhaps ore backlog or P10? Okay, so that should actually be pretty much working. I mean, I could make it like P6, but that shouldn't really matter, or backlog. Cargo, U. So, I mean, it's still sitting in the ship back there. I should probably, what I should do, or what I will do probably, because there's no way that that ore would fit in that small cargo container anyway, get one of my large cargo containers there going. But we had an update today, so there's a bunch of cool stuff. Number one, something you might notice on the bottom left, I now have a hydrogen indicator on my state bar down there next to oxygen. So we should probably look into how oxygen and hydrogen work. Let's go to our control panel, because I need to actually do this. Just make it happen. Do it now, Direwolf. So that's what we're going to do. Let's get the following. Oxygen. Oxygen generator 2, the one that stores ice. You're currently on. Oxygen tank, you're powered off, but you're filled to 100%, so that's cool. I'm actually going to turn you on. And let's turn off this block, and I want to see if the air vent, which if I turn off depressurizing, so let's go inside here. There's also some things changed with doors, so that's neat. I'm going to show you guys that in a moment. Close this door and close this door. Now this base should be considered pressurized. So I just want to do a little testing to see what the new oxygen mechanics that are in, and we're also going to have to do something a little bit different too, because not only are there oxygen mechanics all of a sudden, hey, look at this, gravity's off. Nice. I forgot that gravity doesn't reach into this room. Notice, by the way, that when I access the first aid station, it's no longer automatically filling up my oxygen. That was a bug, as I had suspected, so that's cool. So oxygen vents filling up, oxygen tank is doing its thing. Now for the real question, which we'll get to in a moment, actually. What I'm going to do is, I'm thinking over here might be a good spot for this. I want to get a hydrogen tank. So let's go downstairs. What do we got here? I should probably... What's this? This should be a conveyor, right? So I'm going to grind this down. I'm going to make this guy a conveyor. And there. And this can be a conveyor. Rotate this thing around. Hook these guys up. And then I need to weld this. So what better use than my blocks welder? Remote control on. He was over here welding my connector a moment ago. Also seems a little bit darker to me. I don't know if you guys are getting that as well. There we go, everybody's happy. I'm gonna need you again in a moment there, buddy, so don't go too far. I guess I can get in this way. I just broke into this room, don't mind me. I want to get gravity over here too, because I kind of like walking around in gravity more so than anything else. Alright, air vent leaking, air vent's green, so this guy should update oxygen tanks. Cool. I want to like let this room fill up. Actually, what I'll do, close the door here. The room should pressurize a lot faster because there's a lot smaller space for the oxygen to fill up. So see how much quicker it's filling up now? Boom, 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 those lights are filling up fast. Nice. So now we're in oxygen high. This guy should update to 100%. Very cool. So if I depressurize on, will the oxygen go back into the tank like it should? Nice, I think that's working. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Cool. So if I depressurize off, and then if I were to turn the oxygen generator on, it should fill up the room and fill up the oxygen tank. So there's one minor kink, is that it's tricky to depressurize a room if there's nowhere for the oxygen to go. So you don't always want your oxygen tank like going full blast, but we'll play with that a little bit later. So your depressurize is off. You're working on some stuff, I guess. Doing something. Depressurize off. Room pressure filling up. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Cool. So this is going to be the place where we're going to place our new hydrogen tank. Nice. So hydrogen has two uses. One, you need it to power your suit's thrusters now. So you are going to like definitely need this. And wow, that's a little bit larger of an area than I thought. You're a 3x3, aren't you? Oh, you're mean to me, space engineers. You are very mean. I thought you'd be like the same shape, but I guess hydrogen tanks are different than oxygen tanks. Fair enough. I have to depressurize the room again. Oh, brutal. It's alright. At least I can weld it all up with my stuff in my inventory. That should be cool. Let's do that. And you can tell I was like totally prepared for this, right? Like I know exactly what I was doing. Yeah. Dyer's always prepared, guys. Don't forget that. Come on, get out of the way. There we go. Nice. Weld these guys up. Now I'll get my hydrogen tank placed. So hydrogen, like I said, does a couple things. One, it's going to power your suit thrusters. The other is that they added a new thruster for ships, which you saw in my G menu there a moment ago. Now that's going to be pretty cool because they're much more powerful thrusters than the normal ion ones that are powered purely by energy. And I'm definitely looking forward to checking those out. However, of course, because they're hydrogen thrusters, they're going to need hydrogen fuel running at all times. So let's see. Let's get that hydrogen tank placed now. Oh, you're 3x3. Oh, all right. Let me fix this off camera then. Kind of forgot that, yeah, that's going to look ugly too in this room. Well, it won't look terrible. Alright, I'll be back in a second. Let me get this properly placed. Alright, guys. So, what now? Let's take a look. Hydrogen tank. Woot. Obviously, I'm going to need more stuff in there, but luckily I have my room block builder nearby. Remote control on. And it should be able to reach through the window. Nice. There we go. Hydrogen tank. Very cool. Now, I don't know that the program here will recognize hydrogen tanks, but we'll find out soonish enough. Let's take a look at what goes on in here. So this guy, very similar, obvious, to oxygen tanks, just a different texture, I guess. Stockpile on, whether or not it refills bottles and all that good stuff. And currently, it's filled 0%. I want to update my programmable block to see if he added something for hydrogen. So he might have. So let me check that real quick. So LCD... We're going to browse the workshop. MMaster mentioned to me that he updated for today's patch, so it may already be in there. Configurable automatic LCDs. Okay, cool. Let's see. Last update. Hydrogen bottle and superconductor. Nice. Support for gas tanks. That's cool. Nice, nice, nice. All right. So let me figure out how to do hydrogen bottles then. So let's edit this LCD panel. And just at a guess, what if I typed hydrogen down here? Would you, by chance, show me hydrogen information? Okay, let me find out how to do hydrogen then. Oh wait, hold on, let's try this. Tanks, star, hydrogen. Will that work? Hey, look at that, nice. That's cool. All right, good job, MMaster. You can also do tank, star, oxygen if you want, and that'll work. Sweet. So he already got LCDs updated. That is neat. So let's turn on this bad boy. And he should start processing the ice that's in him. Except there is none. Aha. Where'd all my ice go? Interesting. I might have to go mine a little bit of ice before this will actually work. So let me go mine some ice and then we'll be back. Wow, it really is dark in here without my light on, isn't it? Alright, so let's see what happens. Went mining just a little bit. Snap in, please. There you go. Or at least there you were. Ah, nice. Locked. So let's see, where did all the ice go? Two, large 2, has some ice in it. It's interesting, my ores aren't getting pulled out into the ore backlog chest. Let me check that out, I'll be right back. So I guess the downside of this patch is it broke that mod, so we're gonna have to wait for that mod to update, but that's okay. Ice might have wound up... Oh yeah, an oxygen generator too, look at that. The ice has already got moved over. Nice. So that wasn't as a result of the mod, that was just because that's how oxygen generators work. That's okay, I can work around that for a couple episodes. Hopefully that mod gets sorted out and fixed. So one thing we're definitely gonna wanna do... Production... So we're gonna want an oxygen bottle and a hydrogen bottle here. I can turn that off. Let's see what co-ops are working on. Thruster components? Yeah, we don't need any more of these. We're out of probably platinum. No, we're out of gold, of all things. Okay, that's cool. Cool. Bottles. Nice. So let's go inside and see what's happening. So in theory, my hydrogen and oxygen tanks should be filling up. Sweet. Oxygen tanks, hydrogen tanks. Very cool. And because these doors are opened, it's filling up the whole base, which is fine. That's no problem. I'll let that continue. You have a little bit of ice in you, and you're breaking that ice down and turning it into oxygen and hydrogen. Sweet. So my curiosity was, once the oxygen tank fills up, which is probably going to be pretty soon, will it stop being able to produce hydrogen? My main concern was, well, both directions really, but we'll see. So let's give it a chance. So oxygen tank should probably be at 100% by now. So 12, 16% for hydrogen. So 1249 for hydrogen. So does that mean the oxygen gets to still run? And if so, probably the extra oxygen gets wasted. So we are using stuff up. 1308. All right, good to know. So I'm guessing the oxygen is just voided or wasted until both tanks are full. So that's something that's kind of good to know. So I guess for now what I'll do, because I don't want to waste the ice, even though there's tons of it in the world and it's not that hard to come by, I'm still going to turn off the oxygen generator. And we could probably have a program that, you know, checks all tanks. If any one of them is full, go ahead and shut off, that kind of thing. But for now, we're good. So now we've got a really big hydrogen tank. It's pretty cool looking, actually. I like it. And the oxygen tank. So let's see what else cool stuff was added in this patch, because there was definitely some cool things, one of which I'm really interested in getting, because it's been, as you can see, a big nuisance for me all the time. Let's actually just try it right here, because I might have the stuff I need, and if not, I can get it. Health 21%. Wow, I wasn't flying that fast, guys. Interior door offset. Oh, but there's might be a problem. We're going to have to see here in a minute, but you know what? I can probably check it out here. Door. So there's a new type of door, from what I'm told. Sliding door. Nice. So does that... Oh, nice. That's cool. Interesting. So what we'd probably want this sliding door to have would be this way. Oh, that is cool. Look at that. So I just need a little bit more bulletproof glass and steel plate, but that's actually not important-ish. A little bit more bulletproof glass and steel plate. Let's just go over to cargo here. I should be able to grab some bulletproof glass, some steel plates, weld this dude all the way up to the top. Not that it's really necessary because we're past the red and blue line, of course, but check this bad boy out. This door will not cause a problem for players flying through it. Oh, that is awesome. Players can fly through easily, and there's just... Oh, that's cool. I really like this door. Like, literally right now, what I'm about to do is go throughout my entire base and replace all the doors. Like, just right now. Off camera, back in a minute. I need to do this to all the doors, because they are awesome. I can fly through them easily. I like flying, because it's faster than walking most of the time. Yeah, looks like I might have a little bit of an inventory space problem. Probably grabbed too much stuff. So we'll be right back. Alright guys, I just welded up my last door. Oh, I do really like these doors. I'm not lying. By the way, what is not airtight about the assembly room? Did I? Ah, that. That's probably what's not airtight about the assembly room. For some reason, every time this assembly room door was open, it was leaking air. There we go, oxygen's in. Nice. A little faster than I expected it to, but we've got high oxygen, so I'm happy. So let's go down to our oxygen room. Oh, these doors are awesome. Yeah, look at that. Nice. Oxygen tanks are cruising. Let's turn this guy on. And we'll be back in a few minutes. I'm going to let some oxygen and hydrogen fill up. So for the record, I have 2.2 million iron. Nice. That's awesome. That's just from the mining. That's literally 100% from the mining that we did at the end of last episode. Also, it looks like there's a couple weapon platform Gatlings out here. I don't know where they came from. I don't know if this is a result of, like... Oh, look at that. Asteroid turning invisible. That is cool. What's up, invisible asteroid? Whoa, trippy. I'm sure that bug will be fixed very quickly. And it's not the worst bug in the world. Yeah, this is pretty much what happens. Thursdays can be a little bit funky, and then, you know, the next day comes around. Oh, that's a Gatling gun. Hello. Hello, Gatling gun. I can grind you down to the point where you can't work. Nice. See you later, Gatling gun. Wonder if there's anything good in this cargo container. Access denied. Probably just like ammo or something. Yep, suspected. Now this is another weapon platform with Gatling guns on it, it says, but I don't see where they are. Oh, he looks damaged. So maybe his Gatling gun got destroyed at some point. I could grind all this down, that would be cool. Hey, there's a programmable block here. What's he do? I don't even know. Let's see what happens. I can grind him down past the red line. I think it's once all the computers are out and then you put them back in, and that's what gives you access to it again. Yeah. Ooh, that's interesting. Wow, that's cool. I like it. So I guess one of the downsides about the automatic mod not working with the sorting and whatnot is I might have trouble accessing my reactor in this ship. So one thing I'd kind of always planned on, I need to get more thruster components here, was the ability to access or to automatically put inventory to put like uranium in here. And right now that's a problem because my ship died. I disconnected the ship. You know what I could do is I could grind this down. Throw the uranium in here. Nice. That'll get the ship back up and running. And we will put... Oh, right. Because you need to go back here. Yeah, so what happened is usually the uranium would automatically get sucked back into the reactors every time he docks. But that didn't happen because the automatic ore transfer mod and all that stuff ain't working, which is unfortunate. But I did, as you can see, throw a ore detector in there. And I wouldn't mind checking out what I'm kind of low on. I know I'm low on uranium. And by low, I'm like, I want to say, let's see how many uranium ingots we have. We don't use a ton on the station, but we definitely use enough that we don't want to be at 70 uranium ingots. Like, that's going to be a problem real fast. So let's do this. Let's go mine for uranium. What's also interesting is that for whatever reason, all right, turn off this dude. This patch caused some of my asteroids to regenerate and to generate with different ores, which is kind of cool because there's like this giant uranium node down here. So let's kick on the reactor and let's get our ore detector on here. So we don't really need him running all the time. So we'll toggle him on off with that. That should cause him to lose track. Good. And shield generator is up and running. Nice. That's right. That's probably all the shields, isn't it? I only want main shields on. So we'll make that 4 toggle block on and off. So it'll be easier to access. It'll be the one that's, you know what, maybe it's not. Oh, right, because I didn't shift my fuel. I'm like, why am I running out of fuel so easily? Now we should be cool. So that's main shields, and then we'll do the all shields on 7. Cool. So now we're cool, and we have good power usage there. So let's mine some uranium in this uber ship of ours. Oh, that is cool. I love this mining ship. You have no idea like how insane like the income is. Like we just mined 200,000 uranium ore. Like that's nuts. One thing though is you'll quickly find that it's going to take a long time to process all this ore, and that's where things start to become a problem. So one of the things we're going to start working on today, in addition to checking out hydrogen and some of the cool stuff that the update brought us, is I want to make sure that we take a look at some more advanced options for ore refineries. Cool. So I'm just getting a bunch of uranium here, which is like, I'm really glad that there's this like massive uranium node right near my base, because uranium is something we're going to want a lot of now, and I'm very pleased to be having it. That is so cool how much it works. Oh man, it's just chewing it up. Oh yeah, we're at like, you know, 557k uranium without breaking a sweat. Alright, I should probably stop mining now. Alright, let's go dock up. Docking can be a little tricky in this ship. I highly, highly, highly recommend that you keep your docking connector toggled off until you're really ready to dock. Like, make sure you're perfectly lined up. Again, having the automation would have been great here, but... And there is a remote control on the ship, so if you want to get out and remote control it back in, it might be easier, like as a player just watching it. So let's get to our big miner, remote control. You can see like how huge this ship is. And if you're not really well aligned here, when you turn on the connector, you might have a little bit of a problem. He just needs to be up a little bit more. So what I'm gonna do, turn it off, align it properly, and then turn it on. Cool. If that's not properly aligned, trust me, you'll have a problem. So what do we got going on here? So I guess we could call any, let's do this. Let's edit this private text, and we'll say star or minus ice, right? Because in theory, it doesn't matter what inventory it's in. Like, backlog doors is always going to be backlogged regardless of whether it's in the backlog doors chest or not. But you know what? You know what? It's factoring in probably the uranium that's already in the refineries, right? So yeah, all that uranium's already in there, and then there's 166K. So I think I can say something like minus refinery? If not, I'm gonna check. There's something I can do to do that. So I don't know if there's a way to exclude inventories, so I just said only show inventories with the word cargo in the name. That should be fine for now. So we can see what the backlog of ore is. We can see how much ore we're currently processing. We can see the uranium that we've got in there. So all these guys are processing ore, right? I'd like to have a little bit better control, or at least a little bit better ore processing. So where should I place that? That's really a good question. Where in my base design should I place a big old ore processing facility? Probably not down here. You know what I could do is I could put it over here. This might be a good place for it, and it could stick out of here. So let's jump into this spot real quick. Let's go inside the base and check out if I could just drill into the hole right over here. Yeah, no, I just depressurized my base. I'm a bad person. So in this room, which is destined to be the reactor room, right? We were gonna put, what, these guys, azimuth reactors in here? And for now, I was just thinking just put them in the back like this. And this would look cool. But remember, the eventual plan was to have the fusion reactors in here, right? Because they looked neat. Now, I don't think I sized this room so that I could have a space between them, did I? I did not. So that might not be a good place for a door right there. Let's see, we'll be right back. Oh, right, here. Alright guys, so I'm thinking I want to get started on a room out here. I'm just not sure how large I need it to be because there's a block that we haven't seen or played with yet, and it's a mod related block, which I'm pretty excited to check out, that I want to use in this room back here. This is going to be my refinery room, and I'm going to have some of those refineries that I have over there in this area, but I might wind up going with like fully modded versions of refineries because they are pretty cool. They basically function exactly the same as, you know, the existing refineries that we've seen thus far, but they're a little bit more powerful. So let's take a look. Refineries. We've already seen the regular refinery. Now we're going to take a look at the advanced refinery. Advanced refineries are quite a bit larger than regular refineries, as we can see here. However, they required alloyed plates to be placed. So I want to have a couple of these ready to go. So let's go over to something that can produce for me. And alloy plates are right here. Oh, they require gold? You're killing me. Do I have like enough gold for anybody to do anything with this? I just wanted to be able to place it in the world, and I'm like that low on gold. Let's see. Alloy plates. Did you make any? No, of course not. What do we have that's made of gold? Inventory. Thrusters are made of gold, aren't there? Yeah, but I've used all my thrusters. What else is made of gold? Alright, here's what I'm going to do. This thruster isn't working anyway. I am doing a terrible thing. Actually, I have to throw away some inventory then. Don't I? Alright, let's get this thruster ground down. I'll take the thruster components that are part of it, and... because I think there's some thruster components on there, aren't there? Or were there none? Well, I guess we'll find out. Oh, yeah, I got 12. Good enough for me. Large there. Actually, I'll take you back. Man, I can't wait for the automated inventory mod sorting to work again, because I am very used to that existing. So let's put these in here. Assembler main. And we'll go to the control panel. You're going to go into disassembly mode. There you go. Make a bunch of gold ingots. Beautiful. Nice. Back to assembly mode. We should have gotten our alloy now. Nice. Got 9 of them. Good enough for me. Let's go. So the advanced refinery is, as you can see, rather huge. It is 3x3 on the base. All right. Forgot I put away all my steel plates for that. So I want to just kind of map out how the room's going to look. Then I'll probably build it out for the most part between this episode and next, and then we'll come back next episode and see how we can use these industrial refineries to do a lot of cool stuff. So advanced refineries, right? If we take a look in third-person mode, because I don't know that we could have even close to the resources to build this, because we need 3,000 alloy plates. Goodness, and they need a hefty amount of gold. So I'll probably be doing a little bit of mining between this episode and next. We're going to go after some gold reserves in that giant ship of mine. But if you look closely, and I don't know how well you can see it, but there's like 8 connector points on that side. This side has some stuff. This side has basically nothing, so I'll probably want to have that side facing the ground, believe it or not. This side has a connector point for conveyors, and then the top has an upgrade point, and I want to say probably the bottom does too. So if we rotated this, so that would lay kind of on its side. Yeah, this would look good, right? So on these sides here, there's connector points for a conveyor system. And then on the top, it'll have 8 upgrade points, 3 on that side, and 3 on that side. So if we place that as a placeholder, kinda. So if I placed that here, that would be pretty good. So this room will probably want to have be at least that, right? Yeah. This looks good. So these things are out of the box just a lot faster and a lot more efficient than your regular refinery. Let me get the numbers on that. So as I'm building out this room here, I can tell you that the advanced refinery, which is 3x4x3, which we've already kind of figured out, is 12 times faster and uses 10 times the power. And it has 14 update slots to boost its stats. So, long story short, it's a pretty powerful block, right? So one of these runs as fast as 12 of these refineries before they get upgrades, right? But it also has more upgrade slots, which is very cool. So we'll probably want to have like a large room of these, and this is just going to be, but keep in mind it uses 10 times the power. So the amount of power use that these things are capable of doing, especially when you start putting in things like the boosters that boost the energy use because they also boost the speed, yeah, that's when things get crazy. So let's see here. This we'll want to put here. And what I'll probably do just to make life a little bit easier on myself is I'm thinking at least 4 to get started. So we'll do that. and then I'll build out the flooring underneath in a moment. So this guy is going to want to go probably here. Is that about right? One over. Oh, no, that was maybe right. It's very hard to figure out how to place these. That's why I jump into third person view. Yeah, one over here. That should look good. And then I can just build this out like so. Because they're such huge blocks. But like I said, they'll be very nice. So I think what I'll do is probably get ready to build this room. We'll be right back. Yeah, guys, so we're definitely at the wrapping up point for the episode. So I'll wrap up here, and I will come back next episode after I've potentially built at least one of these. I don't know that I'll get them all built, but I'm going to go mining for some gold, obviously, because there's no way I'm going to be able to build, how many was it, 3,000 alloy plates? Yeah, with the amount of gold I have. That's going to require a huge amount of resources, but like I said, they're very powerful blocks just because they're faster. I mean, they also use 10 times the power, so it's basically just one block doing the work of 12, but with a little bit of a power discount, but obviously a huge increase in the amount of resources you need to build it, so definitely a balance there. But we'll also be looking at some of the hyper upgrades that are available for these guys, and that will really boost our output and our speed. But it'll probably also boost power usage as well, but there's a little bit of balance that we can play with there. We'll have fun with it. So for now, Darwell20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Some very cool updates today. I'm very excited about the hydrogen stuff. I really want to try the hydrogen thrusters. I'm just not... I have to figure out a good ship design because, like I said, hydrogen thrusters, while very powerful, also require, like, tubing that connects the hydrogen to the thruster. So all the thrusters have to be connected to the tube network. Any that are hydrogen powered, that is. The ion ones obviously are fine. So, Darwell20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.